Namaste, I'm Julie. Welcome to my channel, Your Self Yoga for Menopause. And if you've been before, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, a very, very big welcome. So today I'm talking all about anxiety in menopause, a very, very common menopause symptom, which often can get overlooked and attributed to so many other things, but it is down to menopause mainly. So I'm going to be giving you lots of background information, and then I'll finish with some tips and advice, so stick around. So what is anxiety? Anxiety is that feeling of fear, nervousness, not being able to rest, being tense, unease, and I'll be explaining more about what those symptoms look like. But you'll remember, if you've ever taken a driving test, what the fear was like on that day, or sitting a really important exam. And, you know, we literally can't eat. Maybe we're shaking, we're trembling, and that is a source of anxiety, a short-term source of anxiety, but anxiety becomes anxiety when it is a constant side companion. So symptoms of anxiety vary from individual to individual. What might prompt fear in me might not bother you, and vice versa. But the common symptoms tend to be like a fast heartbeat, shallow breathing, sweaty palms, not being able to eat, really feeling churned up. Our mind is racing, and a desire to be anywhere else, doing anything else than what's actually going on in that present moment. Anxiety rears its head in menopause because of the hormonal imbalance, and the fluctuations of estrogen and progesterone are said to affect the neurotransmitters in the brain. And this really can, impact on the way we feel and our nervous system. It may be that we find work more challenging, and we get churned up about that. The fear of traveling, social withdrawal, that's very common in perimenopause, where, we feel that we don't fit in, we don't want to go out, constantly fearing the worst, trying to predict the future, worrying about anything and everything, becoming very, very depressed reading the news, and also an attachment to the past, where we're constantly going over past events. So I'm sure you recognize some of these, and we all have this from time to time, but it's when this sets in and becomes debilitating or impacts on our day-to-day life. So anxiety is really exacerbated by other perimenopausal symptoms as well, like weight gain, loss of confidence, not sleeping, and these all stir things up and make us more anxious and less at ease, that inability to switch off or relax. Our situation at home may have changed. It could be there's a high rate of divorce in perimenopause, relationship issues. Maybe we don't have the intimacy that we once had, and that's causing pressure in relationships. And also caring for elderly parents, maybe, still looking after teenagers at home, or maybe they've fled the nest, and, you're left trying to readapt to just being with your partner. And all of these can take a toll on our nervous system. Let me know what your symptom of anxiety is. Is it one I've mentioned here? Is it something else? We'd love to know. Drop me a comment, share it with us. So what's really going on? It's a fascinating chain reaction, because when we, for example, hear rustling in a jungle and we are fearful for our lives, we feel that there's danger present. And I know in the modern day world, that could be, exchanging contracts on a house. It could be a job interview. And it's the body goes into this fight or flight mode, where you are literally paralyzed with fear, fear of the future, the unknown, what's going to happen, fear for your life if you're in the jungle. And the brain responds, it reads the signals, and the hypothalamus and the amygdala, they kick in and they start to secrete adrenaline and cortisol. It's like they know you're in danger, they want to protect you. They want you to be able to run as fast as you can to get the hell out of that jungle, and they relax the bladder, the pupils dilate, blood is diverted from the main organs, it goes to the muscles so you can fight. All these things take place, except we're not in the jungle. We're in the modern day world. And when this is happening every day, the pressure and the toll it takes on our bodies is colossal. And I'm just going to share with you as one of my stories in perimenopause. And I was having to do a lot of transatlantic travel for business. And on one occasion, I missed a flight, a connecting flight, my overnight flight from Atlanta to the UK. And I was stranded in Atlanta. And I got through it, obviously, but ever since then, I had this nervous reaction to connections. And for the whole of the first flight, I would be dreading the connection and what if, and what if, and what if. And I would arrive at the gate for that second flight, unable to breathe. My breathing would be so rapid, my heart was pumping furiously. My mouth was so dry and I could barely hold on to passport and things because my hands were so slippy, right? That is a classic example, except the anxiety I'm talking about is when this is almost like default mode, when it's happening all the time. So 5 tips for managing anxiety. Number 1 is journaling, right? Trying to identify triggers, trying to understand them when they occur, etc. is a really, really good first step towards conquering anxiety, because when we write things down, we have a little bit more clarity and we can kind of put together, and especially if you review your week, notice on what days you had anxious feelings, who were you with, where were you with, because people can trigger anxiety in us, other people. So writing them down, recording your thoughts, recording your symptoms is so, so important. Question your thoughts. So what I mean by this is, like, take my example, is that, you know, the rational part of the brain, try to use that to tell the other part that as it actually happened, just because it's happened once doesn't mean it's going to happen again, right? What's the worst thing, right? You get stranded in Atlanta, you get by. So it's trying to calm your brain down, trying to calm the nervous system through reassurance. It's very, very difficult to do when you're in a high state of anxiety or even a panic attack. But finding that voice of reason really, really helps. The supplements I recommend the most for anxiety, natural supplements, are ashwagandha and magnesium glycinate. I'll tell you why. Ashwagandha, Indian herb, I've taken it in the past, really, really helps calm the nervous system. Even after a few days, a week or so, you can feel the effects and it's totally natural. And magnesium glycinate really helps to calm the body. Calms the body, relaxes the body, and promotes better sleep, because anxiety can impact on our sleep as well. So 2 supplements worth checking out. Number 4, yoga. So all yoga is good, but the yoga I want to talk about today is restorative yoga, because it is especially designed for relaxing the nervous system, and it is a key part of menopause yoga. And restorative yoga involves 0 movement, because it wants to put you in a position or a place of complete surrender, where you let go. So those of you familiar with yoga will know at the end we do a shavasana pose where we lie still and almost let the body and the mind process all the movements you've made on the mat, right? Even in that pose, our minds are still working and we're still a little bit tense. In a restorative pose, think about melting into the mat, just letting go, completely letting go. It is so beneficial. It triggers the parasympathetic part of our nervous system. It brings everything down. It takes you out of the flight or fight mode and puts you into a rest and digest mode. I have lots of restorative sequences on my app. Check them out because they are so soothing, so beneficial for managing anxiety and menopause. In terms of meditation, meditation is also great, a great part of yoga and a great way to manage anxiety. It's very difficult when we're in a high state of anxiety to sit still and sit with our own thoughts. But a guided meditation that's specifically for anxiety, you can identify with it, and it kind of distracts your thoughts, right? So if you're busy being anxious, give a busy mind something to do, and it works. So explore meditations. Again, I have lots on my app, but explore meditations that will help with your anxiety. They're very, very soothing, and you'll feel your breathing slow and you'll feel your body start to relax. Breathing, also part of yoga, key part of yoga, using the breath. When you know how to use the breath properly, you can help your own anxious thoughts. All you have to do, simple, lengthen the exhalation. So if you breathe into a count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale twice as long. Breathe out, count to 8, but start backwards. 8, 7, 6. You'll be running out of breath by the time you get to the end of 2, right? Gulp in the next deep inhale and keep doing it longer and longer. It sends a signal to the brain that you are resting, that you are relaxing, and that works every time too. So simple. So when you feel those anxious thoughts kicking in, switch on your breathing, right? You can do it anywhere, no one knows. Just breathe really, really slowly and calmly. And number 5, lastly, it is walk in nature or just stepping outside, getting fresh air. Fill the lungs with lots of clean, fresh air, and it makes a difference. Blowing away those anxious thoughts, right? Let nature do what it does best. Try to get sunshine. That helps to lift the mood, and I promise that will really help. Maybe a short, brisk walk daily will really get the body moving and help calm an anxious mind. So if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, drop me a comment, let me know what resonated, what helped you most, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos and become notified of when they're available. And check out the next video, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.